66 million years ago, our planet had a bit of a problem. An asteroid about 7 miles wide slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula, bringing an end to the reign of the dinosaurs that had dominated the Earth for over 100 million years. You know the rest? It's why you're here watching this video. But what if it didn't happen? What if the dinosaurs never died out? That asteroid just missed the Earth, or perhaps wasn't big enough to cause such devastation? Join us as we take a look at what the world would be like if the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs never hit. A world without the impact event has big implications. For one thing, there'd be no mass extinction. None of the 75% of species going extinct as a result of the impact. In this world, the KT boundary would be a lot less distinct, with the fossil record showing a mix of dinosaurs and early mammals living side by side. The dinosaurs wouldn't have gone extinct, but they may have continued evolving. Some paleontologists believe that birds are the direct descendants of theropods, like Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus rex. And since birds are still evolving today, we can get a glimpse of what dinosaurs in our current time period would look like. So let's take some existing dinosaurs and fast forward the clock by 66 million years. The asteroid impact triggered massive climate change. Plants were wiped out across the globe, blocking the sun and cooling the planet. This paved the way for mammals to start diversifying. Without the impact, mammals may have continued to be small proto-wombats, mostly nocturnal to avoid predators like the mighty T-Rex. That is, until 80 million years after the asteroid missed. Mammals only started to diversify once the dinosaurs went extinct. So without the extinction, they'd still be. But the bigger picture is this. Without the impact event, Earth would be very different. Dinosaurs evolved over a span of 165 million years, beginning in the late Triassic period and ending in the late Cretaceous. That's 40 million longer than the dinosaurs in our timeline had to evolve. Dinosaur evolution would be hard to predict. We know from our world that dinosaurs weren't a monolith. They weren't all huge plantators and small carnivores. They came in a variety of shapes and sizes, from tiny feathered dinosaurs like Archaeopteryx to giant sauropods like With another 40 million years of evolution, who knows what other forms they might have taken? Maybe there would be flying sauropods or aquatic theropods. Anything's possible, but the fact remains that Earth would be ruled by reptiles. Not only would dinosaurs be thriving, but so would other reptiles. In our timeline, turtles appeared during the late Triassic and have been around ever since. This means that in another 40 million years, turtles would have evolved even further. They'd probably be massive, maybe able to grow up to 10 feet long. Crocodiles would also be giants, maybe growing up to 20 feet long. And snakes would be massive constrictors or highly venomous. Without the impact event, Earth would be a scarier place for mammals. And there wouldn't be any nice guys like Jeff Goldblum to help them out. So how would this world look? How would it compare to our own? First off, the continents would be in slightly different positions. Over 40 million years, the continents drift, as they do in our world. But without the impact event to kick things off, the Cenozoic era would not exist. North America and Europe would still be connected, and Australia would be much closer to Asia. Second, the climate would be different. The asteroid impact caused global cooling, which led to the formation of the ice sheets in Antarctica. Without the impact, Antarctica wouldn't have become so cold, and the ice sheet would never have formed. This would lead to higher sea levels worldwide, and Australia would have looked more like a dunny. Third, there would be no mammals. The KT boundary in the fossil record marks a major shift, not just because of the disappearance of the dinosaurs, but also the appearance of the first modern-looking mammals. These mammals would eventually give rise to whales, bats, primates, and us. Without the asteroid, mammals would still be small, furry blobs. No more Star Wars weekend at the cinema. No more Adele. No more Marvel movies. And fourth, there would be no humans. Humans are mammals. Remember, without mammals, there'd be no people, which means there'd be no one to watch this video. Sorry. Fifth, the asteroid impact caused a spike in iridium levels in the soil, an element found in abundance in asteroids. This layer of iridium is found all over the world and serves as a reminder of the impact event. Without the impact, this layer wouldn't exist. And finally, sixth, the asteroid impact may have helped trigger the evolutionary event that led to the emergence of flowering plants. Flowering plants are angiosperms, make up about 80% of all land plants today. But before the late Cretaceous, they were rare. It's thought that the impact event may have triggered a massive die-off of non-flowering plants, giving angiosperms the chance to take over. Without the impact, angiosperms may not have become so dominant. This would have huge implications for the entire ecosystem of Earth. Many animals rely on flowering plants for food and habitat. Without them, many animals may not exist. In short, the asteroid impact had profound implications for the course of life on Earth. Without it, Earth would be a very different place today. It's impossible to say exactly what would have happened, but we can be sure it wouldn't be the same. Okay, let's play out this scenario a little more. Let's imagine that the asteroid did hit, but it was just a bit smaller. Perhaps it was half the size of the one in our timeline. What would happen then? Would the dinosaurs still rule the roost? Probably not. It would still be devastating. The asteroid would still cause massive climate change and wipe out a majority of species. But dinosaurs, being tough SOBs that they are, they would likely weather the storm better than most and survive in greater numbers than any other species. So if anything, they'd be the new dominant species. But what if the asteroid was even smaller? What if it was only 1/3 the size of the real asteroid? Would the dinosaurs still go extinct? The answer, surprisingly, is probably yes. To understand why, let us take a look at a few examples of near-Earth asteroids that were smaller than the one that killed the dinosaurs. On September 25, 1998, a 2-kilometer-wide asteroid known as 1998 SF-36 passed within 7 million kilometers of Earth. It was the closest approach of any known asteroid at the time and gave scientists a close look at what an asteroid impact might be like. If 1998 SF-36 had struck the Earth, it would have caused massive destruction, but not enough to kill off the dinosaurs. The energy released by the impact would have been about 10 billion times less than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. While the impact would have been devastating, the dinosaurs would likely have survived. Now let's look at an even smaller asteroid. On February 15, 2013, a 20-meter-wide asteroid known as 2013 DA1 passed within 27,000 kilometers of Earth's surface. That's closer than any known asteroid before or since. If 2013 DA14 had struck the Earth, it would have been much more destructive than 1998 SF-36, but still nowhere near enough to kill the dinosaurs. The energy released by the impact would have been about 30 billion times less than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Okay, now let's get smaller. On March 15, 2009, a 30-meter-wide asteroid known as 2009G passed within 25,000 kilometers of Earth's surface. At this point, you might be asking yourself, just how small does an asteroid have to be to cause the extinction of the dinosaurs? Well, the answer is pretty small. In fact, it would take an asteroid about 10,000 times smaller than the one that killed the dinosaurs to do the job. Now let's look at what a smaller asteroid would do. Let's imagine an asteroid half the size of the one that killed the dinosaurs. What would happen then? The asteroid would still cause massive climate change, but not enough to kill the dinosaurs. However, it would cause a mass extinction, wiping out 75 of all species. The dinosaurs would likely be among the survivors. But so would mammals. Mammals would likely continue to diversify and eventually give rise to intelligent life. If that doesn't sound too interesting, check out our video on what the world would be like if mammals had evolved into dinosaurs instead. Intelligent life would likely emerge again. But this time, it wouldn't be humans. It would be something else. Something that evolved from a mammal. Maybe it'd be a new type of ape. Maybe a horse or a dog. Who's to say? The point is that it wouldn't be us. And finally, let's imagine a truly minuscule asteroid, 1,000 times smaller than the one that killed the dinosaurs. What would happen then? Well, not much. The asteroid would cause minimal damage, maybe enough to cause a local extinction, wiping out all life in a small area. Life would go on much like it does today. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was big. It was about 7 miles wide, which is about 10 kilometers. It struck Earth with the force of 3 trillion tons of TNT. By comparison, the asteroid that destroyed Hiroshima was about 6 miles wide and only caused an estimated 6,000 deaths. In conclusion, Earth would look very different today if the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs never hit. Dinosaurs would likely still be around, along with other reptiles like turtles and crocodiles. Mammals would not exist, nor would humans, and the continents would be in different positions. It's hard to say exactly what would have happened, but we can be sure it wouldn't be the same. What do you think? How would Earth be different today if the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs never hit? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.